Hytale just released a new blog about the state of its lore, and while it doesn't reveal any new details, it might be one of the most important updates we've had in years. Because this post isn't about what Hytale's story is, it's about how the story is going to work, and that changes everything. First, Joe makes something very clear. The concept art we saw years ago was never a promise. Even when it was released, much of it was already outdated. Some of it wasn't even meant to become canon, just inspiration. Over time, entire designs were dropped or reworked. This is basically a reset of expectations. If you've been holding on to old theories or visuals, this explains why things may not match up anymore. Over the years, Hytale's narrative went through multiple incompatible drafts. Entire factions were cut. Concepts were rewritten. Now, the team has made a major decision. They've returned to an earlier draft that better fits both the engine and the game's long-term vision. Some ideas might return later, others might never come back. This isn't retconning, it's consolidation. Even controversial changes like the Scarix redesign are being handled carefully. Instead of discarding old and new versions, they're finding ways to make both exist within the lore. Importantly, many of Hytale's core figures are staying. Gaia, Varen, Tessa, Kairos, all still canon. They're also keeping the idea of altarverses, which gives them space for long-term storytelling and future content. So while the surface is changing, the mythic backbone is still there. And this is where things get interesting. Hytale's lore is not meant to be a strict rulebook. It's meant to inspire creativity while providing guardrails. There are core foundations that won't change, but everything above that stays flexible. They're using what they call archaeology storytelling. Instead of cutscenes and exposition, players uncover lore through structures, items, and environmental clues. Different factions may even understand the world differently. For example, Gaia might be the avatar of Orbis, but not everyone in the world knows that. With early access coming fast, there won't be a massive narrative at launch. There are no systems for a full story yet, and there never really have been. Instead, lore will be subtle, fragmented, discovered, but there is still a background narrative tied to the transition from World Gen version 1 to version 2, and something called Cursebreaker may already be part of that puzzle. Change has always been a part of Hytale's development, but now, for the first time, the team is saying, when players enter Orbis, the lore finally becomes canon. This isn't change for change's sake. It's intentional, structured, and designed for the long term. Hytale isn't trying to lock itself into a rigid story too early. It's building a world first, one where players uncover the history, interpret the mysteries, and eventually shape the narrative themselves. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And while you're here, take a look at the video here that I made about why Hytale's World Generation version 2 actually matters. I'm Caden, thanks for watching.